Vikings vs. Packers. OddsVikings Odds+6 bet now. Packers odds 6 bet now. Over under 48 bet now. Kickoff 1 p.m. ETTVFOXOdds as of Sunday and via DraftKings. Get up to a $1,000 sign-up bonus at DraftKings today or see more offers for the best online sportsbooks. The Minnesota Vikings head to Lambeau Field for a Week 8 matchup against the Green Bay Packers. These teams last faced each other in Week 1, with Green Bay defeating Minnesota 43-34 as a 1-point underdog. This time around, oddsmakers opened with Green Bay as a 7-point favorite, but it's been Minnesota that has gotten the money, with the line dropping a full point at some sportsbooks. Shop for the best line now. Perhaps one explanation for the line move has to do with the 26 mph winds that are expected during the game. This has also affected the total, which opened at around 56 but has since been bet down to as low as 49.5. This makes sense because inclement weather can lead to fewer points on the scoreboard, which in turn creates additional value on the underdog that's already catching points. Another explanation is that the Vikings will be the fresher of the two teams after coming off a bye in Week 7. However, a closer look suggests that this situational spot may not necessarily favor Mike Zimmer and Minnesota. Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota will return from its bye without defensive end Yannick Ngakoue after the former Pro Bowl player was traded to the Ravens. His departure may be a sign that the Vikings are waving the proverbial white flag on their season, as they might even offload more players to continue to acquire draft picks. Ngakoue accounted for 38% of their sack production, 13, this season. Without him to generate pressure, Aaron Rodgers will likely feel even more confident behind an offensive line that's tied for second with the fewest sacks, 8 given up this season. Quarterbacks generally make fewer mistakes when they have more time in the pocket, and that scenario could prove problematic for a Minnesota defense that's third worst in opponent passer rating, 110.4 per TeamRankings. Despite the windy conditions that are expected in Green Bay, teams simply can't just line up and run the ball 80% of the time. Quarterbacks are always going to have to play a role, especially in today's modern game. And the reality is that Kirk Cousins hasn't been the same player since Stefon Diggs was traded this past offseason. Getty Images. Pictured, Kirk Cousins. Last year, Cousins finished in the top half of the league with a 60.4 mark in ESPN's total QBR, whereas this season, he has the fourth worst QBR, 48.6. His decision-making has simply been poor given his 10 interceptions, the most in the NFL. As far as injuries are concerned, Minnesota will be without 3 cornerbacks. Mike Hughes remains limited due to a neck injury, Holton Hill continues to rehab a foot injury, and Cameron Dantzler is on the COVID-19 reserve list.